going on, Jerome's? So the ballad of Slingin Sam Darnold, a.k.a. America's quarterback, has been an interesting story so far this season. Frankly, I think that he has massively outperformed expectations on him. Former number 3 overall pick in 2018. You're brought in for the Vikings as a bridge quarterback, $10 million on a one-year deal. Also, it's important to note that he was signed before the draft, because that's how free agency works. The Vikings hung their shingle with Darnold, let Kirk Cousins walk to Atlanta and take all the money, and then the Vikings drafted J.J. McCarthy. But the Vikings obviously had some faith in Slingin Sam Darnold, and Kevin O'Connell, he has quickly taken up the mantle of quarterback whisperer, and I kind of love that about us, because won a Super Bowl. Well, first off, quarterback coach in Washington got Kirk Cousins paid. Then OC worked hand in glove with Matthew Stafford. They won a Super Bowl out with the Rams. Then Kirk Cousins here with the Vikings, playing some of the best ball of his career. The gaggle of quarterbacks last year had Nick Mullins averaging 400 yards a game. And of course, whatever the Passionate thing was. And then going to Slingin Sam Darnold. And Darnold, even though it's been up and down, it's been mostly ups, right? And Darnold has played the best ball of his career. Redhead redemption. And Darnold Schwarzenegger, why not? As well as they got slimed. All right, so even though the vibe with Darnold last couple of games has been frustrating, overall in totality, in total, whatever. But Darnold has outperformed expectations right now. That doesn't give him an excuse to backslide, because now we have raised expectations both for Darnold and this team. And Darnold is the reason why the Vikings have had a lot of success on offense. He's also been a detriment the last couple of weeks, throwing 5 interceptions over the last 2 games. And they're just balls that are just forced, and just trying to force feed Justin Jefferson. And the Ginger Jameis comparison is in full effect. Long story longer, Kevin Seifert, ESPN, who's not Carl Gershman, who's not, talked about stuff regarding Sam Darnold and how Kevin O'Connell is dealing with him. Here's some excerpts. Minnesota Vikings quarterback Sam Darnold led the NFL in turnovers 13 through week 10, but also tied for number 4 in touchdown passes 17. This really is the Ginger Jameis experience. I mean, he threw for 5,000 yards and had 30 interceptions one year. It's crazy, man. Darnold's arm has helped receiver Justin Jefferson compile the second most receiving yards in the NFL, 831, and it has been one of the primary reasons the Vikings have jumped out to an unexpected 7-2 record. Unexpected to the national media jabroni haircuts, but not true fans. Actually, it's a surprise to a lot of fans, too. But turnovers have come in bunches his past 2 games, including 5 picks, 3 in the end zone, and a fumble return for a touchdown, which was a BS call, by the way. But regardless, Darnold now has a higher average turnover per play, 0.04 Wes Phillips this season than in any other of his career, and it prompted a noticeable shift towards the running game last week in the second half in an ugly 12-7 win, but it was a win versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Coach Kevin O'Connell has been attempting to balance the big play potential Darnold's arm provides with the decision-making that has made the past 2 games much closer than they otherwise would have been. Well, okay, fair. But also the fumble wasn't on him. He was clearly fouled. He was clearly hit the head yet again on a scoring play 2 weeks in a row. But he has maintained full support in Darnold as his starter. You got no other options. What are you going to do? Put in Nick Mullins or Ryan Tannehill? Get out of here. And he said last week that he wants Darnold to be aggressive because he's, in my opinion, throwing the ball as well as many, many guys in the league right now. And it is true. And that does bear out where Darnold is still top 10 adjacent in terms of quarterback rating. He's tied for 4th in the league with touchdown passes. His yards per attempt is top 7. His ADOT is top 4. So he is slinging it downfield. But the problem that he's butting up against in the last couple of games is just trying to not take what the defense is giving him, where Jacksonville wants to sit in that split safety cover 2 shell and not allow the big play. You have to be fine taking things underneath. That's why Hawkinson and Josh Oliver had monster games, because that's what was there. That's why the running game had such a great day, because Jacksonville was stubborn. It's like not moving your back row in checkers, like, you shall not beat us deep. And then Darnold's just like, I'm still going to try. Seifert continue. But in a revealing exchange during interview Tuesday with K-Fan, 11:30? Oh, just K-Fan. O'Connell acknowledged he intentionally flipped his run-pass ratio against the Jaguars, shifting from 37% design runs the first half to 57.4 in the second. It led the Vikings' lowest rate of design passes in a game, 52.5%. Since the Week 1 blowout of the New York Giants, it was a sign that he can and will adjust away from the pass if Darnold can't stem the tide of the turnovers. I don't even think it's necessarily about Darnold. Partially was about Darnold, but also that's what was there. That's how you beat cover 2, is that you don't have that extra man in the box, so it's a lot easier to run, and you keep punching him in the face until they drop a dude down into the box, and then all of a sudden you got single high and man on the outside, and then Jefferson, woo. Come on, man. I think there's a layer sometimes where in my mind I'm trying to have some growth as the head coach, O'Connell said, and not just the play caller, not just the egomaniac of wanting to score points and constantly show everybody how smart we are. There was a mode that I think you have to go into sometimes to ensure victory. When your defense is playing the way we were playing, I made the decision in the second half we're going to commit and run the football, which part of it is, maybe a minuscule part of it is Darnold just constantly targeting the other team, but I think a lot of it was really game flow. And I love and respect that Kevin O'Connell took his ego out of it, like he said, because a lot of offensive play callers just want to, it's my scheme. I'm going to put up points as opposed to strategically winning the game. And it was a good strategic move given the condition of the game, given the circumstances, and given how good the defense is playing. The Jaguars' offense was inert, and the fact that the Vikings were able to run the ball because of the amount of cover 2 shell that they were playing. Right, so I don't think it's necessarily, well, maybe it is. I kind of go back and forth on it. But it is Sam Darnold fixable? To a degree, yes. Every day, I'm going to make you a little less gross. That's what Kevin O'Connell said. Also, hat model. Get back to wearing the hat, man. But, Darnold has played overall really good. And I know that it's colored by recency bias because of what's happened the last couple of games. But, Darnold has played over his skis. And maybe that's his level of play. And I don't think that he's backsliding. I don't think that he's regressing to the mean. I know that a lot of people are rooting for him to do that. But I think that there's a lot of things that he will still get his ish together. And it does make me feel better that his 5 picks the last 2 games have all been aggressive interceptions, right? Where he's just trying to make things happen. You can dial that back as opposed to interceptions, like Caleb Williams or Cooper Rush, where it's just like they have zero chance. Like they literally have zero idea what they're doing out there, and that's not Darnold. And also, you look at the state of quarterback play across the league. There's a lot of QBs who can't drive the ball down the field, and Darnold certainly can do that. You do have to take the good and the bad, but hopefully a lot more good and hopefully a lot less bad. And I do trust that Kevin O'Connell is the head coach and offensive play caller that can tranquillo. Calm down the bad parts of Sam Darnold and just remind him, like, hey, bro, you have the best suite of weapons in the National Football League. You have an offensive line that's playing extremely well right now as well. You're being protected, and just take what is there. Just be the point guard, be a distributor. You don't have to score 10 points on every single drive. Can't do it. Can't do it, man. But your thoughts are thoughts. ESPN talks about how Kevin O'Connell's working to balance out Slingin Sam Darnold. Mama, I can change him. Let us know your thoughts, our thoughts, his thoughts, their thoughts, everyone's thoughts. Comment section below. It's a Friday, beautiful Friday. Hit up that Venmo. You guys are the best. You know what to do. Skull production value.